Good. Our time is here. And are you all seeing my screen? Just put a thumbs up if you're seeing the screen. Oh, great. So good afternoon and you're welcome on board. Today is Tuesday and it's the 29th of November. Our session for today is understanding the impact of rumors. And this is just a swap with the session that you are supposed to have on data security, which will be held sometime in the future due to engagement that the trainer has. So here we majorly look at like what impact rumors have on programs and operations of organizations. And the focus here will be on health rumors. And the session will give you sort of insights into understanding the techniques to capture and address different sort of rumors, but with the use of health as a case study. Now, we as individuals, we will, or as professionals, we usually have different communication frameworks. Like in the cases of health, you realize right now people are battling Ebola virus as well as the COVID-19. So people will be talking about the signs and symptoms of COVID-19, signs and symptoms of Ebola virus, how the Ebola spreads, how people can be protected, and so forth, the do's and don'ts for you to live a healthy life. This is what conversations organizations are having, or healthcare workers are having, or professionals are having in different fields. But you find that in the community, people are having different conversations that are very contrary to professional ethics, and most of them can sort of jeopardize the safety and even the health of a community as a whole. For instance, these are examples of rumors at different times. Like here, people will talk about worries of the local population about the COVID-19 vaccine. People say if you take the vaccine, probably you are even being injected with the vaccine, with the virus itself. And people say in the long run, side effects will emerge. And then the health organizations that have been in the lead, of course, might have left the country. And this was also during a time when there was sort of giving of money and funds and stuff like that, and people started saying they are being told that if you don't have a fund, you will not receive money. And then here, this is a religious rumor where people say during a movement in Germany, and they say when you arrive in Germany, if you are a Muslim, then you will be made to forget Islam, and if you are seen carrying a Quran, you will be imprisoned. People are not required to put on long clothes. Prayer is forbidden, and a lot of contrary conversations that are happening in the community. So, what are rumors itself? We could say rumor is any unverified information that can be spread intentionally or unintentionally. And this rumor can be true. The rumors can be false. Also, sometimes the rumors can be a mixture of both true and false. Most times people see rumors as negative, and sometimes rumors are dismissed as idle talk or gossip. But these rumors can have a big impact and can even be very useful to individuals and even organizations. Rumors can be about programs, can also be about the national society, and rumors can be about disease or can be about social issues that are affecting individuals or a community as a whole. And we have different types of rumors that circulate from time to time. And this kind of rumors include rumors like
this meeting is being recorded.
Wish rumors. So the wish rumors reflect the hopes of the community. You know, sometimes we live in a community where we sort of have a lot of issues every now and then. But then for us to try to bring solutions to these problems, or for us to see that issues are talked about, that we need to spread rumors. Like you guys might have seen recently information about one of the students who scored high marks in one of the years in secondary school exams, but he never got a chance of a scholarship. You see, so most people had hoped that being the best student, at least he should have secured a scholarship into the university, but that did not happen. So what happened? Social media, people started talking about it, and of course, we did not know whether it was true or false, but it turned out to be true, and the hopes of the community was resolved when I think the Egyptian government offered to give him a scholarship to study medicine in Egypt. You see that. So this, an example of such a rumor could be, I have heard that the British government is allowing more Somali refugees into the UK because of the drought. What should I do to get to the UK? So this is literally somebody who just wants to find information on how they can get into the UK, but then they don't know how they can get credible information. So for them to do that, they have to start talking about it, you see? So as a result of that, as they talk about it, they get to fetch information. They get to get a lot of information, and then they will get to make decisions that can help them. And then we have fear rumors. So the fear rumors, of course, again, we have a lot of fears that surround us. So these fear rumors sort of reflect the anxieties of the community. And like in the case of COVID-19, you know, people were saying, if you go to a COVID-19 treatment center, you will not come back out. They will sell your body parts to Europe. All of you know that at that time, only healthcare workers are required to bury people who die of COVID. Or when you get sick of COVID, you are taken to an isolation center. This same case applies to Ebola virus. So even recently, in Uganda, in one of the speeches of the president, he said that there's an incident where someone who died of Ebola was buried, and then the family decided to go and exhume the dead body. But what happened? 10 of the family members died later on. You see, this is because of this. So like people were saying, why is it that when somebody dies, you don't want us to bury our dead and it's given to healthcare workers? So they feel that sometimes maybe body parts of the dead are extracted and so forth. You see that. And then also we have hostility rumors. Now these hostility rumors, they reflect threats and prejudices, and often they target outside groups. Like most of you might have seen rumors within the South Sudan media space where they say maybe the people from Greater Pibor want to go and attack people from Jongole State, and maybe the Mundari, they want to attack people from Eastern Equatoria and so forth. So these kind of rumors are hostility rumors, and these ones reflect threats and prejudices, and they often target specific groups, which is very, very dangerous. For instance, we have a religious rumor at the time where people were saying that the Red Cross gives more help to Christian IDPs because it is a Christian organization and does not support Muslims. So this is sort of a rumor that is trying to create division between Muslim and Christian communities. You see that? So these are three different types of rumors. Now, you may be asking yourself, why then would people share rumors? Why do people share information either intentionally or unintentionally? There are several factors that lead to these things. One of the factors is to explain a situation or an event. You know, sometimes we live in a situation where there's an information gap. A lot of things are lingering in the air, and people want answers. So then, since you want answers, there are people who will then fabricate answers to your questions. See, like you are looking for a job, and now people will say, yeah, since what you want is a job, they will create a job scam for you, and then you apply, your personal information is gone, or you may be even asked to what? To pay money. You see that? And like we had a case earlier on, sometime, I don't know whether it was this year or last year, when the president ordered for the release of what so-called classified report by the national security. So when the report was released, people were criticizing the report. It wasn't well written. It was A, it was B, it was C, and people were now wondering how much that report might have cost, or how much the government might have invested in the report. So one of the tabloid online news, that is Sudan's Post, decided to just make any figure and say the report cost this $1 million. You see, so until it forced the government to come out to hold a press conference that no, that is not the figure that was spent on the report. You see that? So like, this is sort of one reason why people spread rumors, because they want answers to explain specific situations or to explain events. Another reason why people share rumors is to define themselves as being in the know, or sometimes just to make others feel bad. Like even media organizations, they have the tendency that they want to be the first to break the news. You see, this means that they want to define themselves as media organizations or as journalists who are in the know. Even when it comes to posting on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram or on TikTok, a lot of people, they feel they should be the first to publish a certain piece of information. This is just because of just wanting to define themselves as people who know stuff, yeah? And they want to make other people look bad, or other institutions look bad. Another thing is sometimes people spread rumors because they want to feel connected to issues that affect them. Like a lot of things go in communities, yeah? So sometimes for you to feel connected to your community, then definitely you have to discuss these issues with them, yeah? So when you discuss with them, and then you become part of a connected community instead of being in isolation. So another thing is people want to develop relationships by using information as a currency. For instance, let's say I want to be a friend to work attack, but then I don't know how to start the relationship. And then I realized that there's some piece of information that work attack is looking for. Maybe work attack wants to know the process of getting admitted into the University of Juba. And then I will, of course, maybe I do not even know the process of getting admission into the University of Juba, but then I just try to create something. Then I go to him that, hey, oh, I realize you've been looking for information on how to get admission to the University of Juba. So for you to do that, this is how you go about it. So then, of course, in this interaction, work will be asking me a lot of questions every now and then, and already I am building the relationship with him. And in this case, I have used information as a currency to build this relationship. Another thing is people share rumors to share useful information or entertaining information. Like most of you have seen memes. A lot of you these days, you even post memes, or you like following people who share memes, or you like to follow meme pages, because like you don't want serious stuff, yeah? So just because you're there for entertainment, and also some of you may follow our opportunity pages online or opportunity websites, this is because you want to get useful information on opportunities and stuff like that. So another reason why people share rumors, which is a last, is to mislead or to deceive, often for economic and political gains. You see that? But the bottom line is that people share rumors because they think that these rumors are true. This is the bottom line of all these points that we have explained here. So now, again, where do these rumors come from? You may be asking yourself, where do these rumors come from? These rumors come from a lot of situations. One of the situation rumors come from is when people are in a disaster, or when people are in a crisis. All of you know that when people get into a crisis, there's a lot of information vacuum. Sometimes there's too much and contradictory information. Sometimes there is disrupted social network. Sometimes there's a strong desire to know what is happening. And sometimes people are tired and people are mentally depleted. A lot of you get into a state where you are mentally down and you feel, oh gosh, I didn't expect this. So you find that in such situation, you may even be communicating stuff without properly digesting what information you are truly sharing. So in such situation, you may be compelled to share rumors. And yeah, so fertile ground for rumors include all this information above: disasters or crises, which lead to vacuum of information, which leads to too much information that is contradictory. And sometimes when there's disrupted social network where the company blocks Facebook or Twitter or stuff like that, when there's a strong desire to know what is happening, and when people are tired and are mentally depleted. And the basic rule of rumors say that when the issue is important and there's some level of uncertainty, then it will give us a huge number of rumors that will be circulating. So most people in society or in organizations, they tend to ignore rumors. Like when you see people talking about your organization that, hey, you know, this organization is A, this organization is B, or you see the way Amin does the work, or you see the way Justin is A, Justin is X. Like, you shouldn't ignore such kind of conversations that you hear or that people keep talking about, because it's very, very important. One of the reasons why you should not, I should not, and we should not ignore rumors is that rumors can provide honest feedback on humanitarian programs, but rumors can also undermine these programs. So this means that when people begin talking about the way you implement a project in an organization, and then you want to say, let them talk without taking action, then you are definitely being mistaken, because you may be preparing for a disaster. Most of you have seen cases where people warn people that, hey, ABC, and then this organization, they want to downplay these rumors. So sometimes it's very bad. Rumors can also threaten lives and can create suffering for both the people you are seeking to help and also your staff in the organization. For instance, recently in some areas of South Sudan, where people say that we don't want this particular group of people to be employed in our state, and this organization, they want to downplay that, hey, what you see that in most cases, these organizations end up being attacked, and they end up spending a lot of money in rushing to take their staff to secure locations. You see that. This is because when these conversations start happening, when people are saying, hey, please, we don't want this issue of you employing people from other states, when people are saying, hey, please, we don't want this issue of you employing people from other states. So you find it, that's why there are cases of looting of humanitarian storehouses, and even in some cases, even death of staff. You see that. So this is because people want to ignore rumors. But for you to live in an organization that will not fall victim of such circumstances, do not ignore rumors. You need to discuss rumors in your meetings. So yeah, like I said, rumors can help organizations better understand and build stronger relations with people in the affected communities, which result in a more localized and more people-centered response. Rumors can encourage better transparency and accountability practices. Rumors can serve as an early warning of violence or risky behavior so that early action can be taken. And we need to address rumors because rumors can affect the relationship between health response teams and community. It can influence community beliefs and behaviors, and can affect the safety of the staff and volunteers and even the community themselves. So it's very, very important. Like in this case, in a time of Ebola, there were rumors that at treatment centers, people's organs were being taken and being sold to Western countries. So as a result, there were several attacks to Ebola response teams. The same examples applies to what I explained earlier. Yeah. So these are serious misconceptions about Ebola at that time, where people talk about traditional healers, spiritual healers, Ebola from mosquito bites, Ebola is airborne, and so forth. So as an organization, you need to, or as an individual, you need to take note, and you need to make sure that you develop strategies or a messaging mechanism. So this is very important because you continue to monitor people's beliefs, myths, rumors, so that you can continue to shape and change community engagement strategy. Like, for instance, in a case where people believe that COVID-19 is not a virus, but is caused by witchcraft, it's very important that you engage people in a dialogue about this myth rather than continuing the same messages throughout the response. Good approach is you need to do regular surveys and you need to collect rumors by volunteers. Even your staff, when they go to the field, when they hear any information about the implementation and mechanisms of your organizations, you need to take them seriously. Very, very important. And another thing is this. This one applies also to marketing. Some people, they want to do, like I see a lot of businesses in Juba. We have things like billboards and stuff, which are not effective in modern society, which is not an effective marketing method. But you see the same organization, they keep putting a lot of billboards instead of bringing new marketing strategy to be able to reach audiences so that they can adequately sell their product. So this is the same case with handling rumors. Do not continue with the same messaging strategy throughout your response. Instead, try to engage people. You do regular surveys and see what works, you see, so that you get good output for your business. Now, like when we look at COVID at this time, we talk of rumors where people run away from health facilities. We talk about COVID-19 being seen as a death sentence. We talk about refusal of treatment centers. We talk about refusal of COVID-19 vaccines. We talk about people dying of COVID-19 in the house. And then some people, even when the people are sick of COVID, they hide them simply because they do not want the health workers to come and bury them, you see? So you realize that rumors can distract from and compete with your strategy as an organization or your strategy as an individual, and it can even spoil your brand or your reputation. But also, rumors can help reshape the communication and community engagement strategy work of your organization, of your business, or of your individual brand. Now, during polio vaccination in Nigeria in 2013, there were rumors that polio vaccination contains HIV, anti-fertility, and carcinogenic chemicals. And also polio vaccination was against Islamic law. You see that? What was the impact? People decide, so most of the people, they decided to say, let these people talk. They did not take this rumor serious. So as a result of that, there was 11th-month boycott by political and religious leaders across 5 states of Nigeria. Polio cases rose up by 400% in Nigeria. Also, polio spread from Nigeria to 18 countries on 3 continents in the world. And the cost of the response was $500 million, which was way higher than what they would spend if they had listened to the rumors. So what was the cost of not listening? Like I explained earlier, this is what happened, and also this is what happened. Now, for them to resolve this case, there had to be concerted international effort where Nigerian political and religious leaders were sent to South Africa, to India, and also to Indonesia to see how the vaccines were being used and to prove that these vaccines are indeed safe. Attention had to be brought to the fact that the vaccines were produced in Indonesia, which was an Islamic country, therefore demonstrating adherence to Islamic law. And also the boycott was broken. Though the boycott was broken, the work was not over. To ensure that the rumor will not recur, a meeting of religious leaders from Chad, Cameroon, Niger, Togo, Benin, and Burkina Faso was convened to share experiences of successful vaccination campaigns and how to better support these efforts in the future. And yeah, so sometimes then you may be asking yourself, what really makes rumors work? Like, why do rumors spread so fast, and why does it seem to go higher than real news? There are 4 top reasons why these rumors work. And one of the reasons is you realize that people trust their peers more than experts. Yeah, like someone would rather believe someone that they are associated with than to believe an expert in a particular field that they do not know or that they know little about. So, so this is mostly, there's something called the orbits of influence. You can do a research of that, and this can prove you that a lot of people tend to trust peers more than experts. And this is one reason why rumors work. Another reason why rumors work is that people tend to favor ideas that confirm their own worldview, and which is as a result of selective perception. Like, I would rather believe something that is already familiar with the way I judge things happening around me than to believe that it is either true or false without conforming to my old worldview of the particular situation. So there's what we call the tipping point. This is a book that is written by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's about how little things can make a big difference. Some of you might have read this book, and some of you might want to read it. So this tipping point tells us that trends are very contagious, and there's always a sticking factor. Small changes have a huge impact, and these rumors themselves have a tipping point, because the more someone hears a rumor, the more likely they are to accept that it is true and believe that it comes from a credible source. Because information is not a factor that determines a rumor's transmission, but what determines the transmission of a rumor is how sticky the belief is to people in their local context. That is why you find that sometimes when these people who are disinformers create their campaigns, they tend to see that they sort of play around with this information to fit the local context of the people in which they want to plant the rumors. So another reason why rumors work is these rumors reinforce cultural identities and they create social cohesion. So you realize that when you have sort of hostility rumor like community A is going to attack community B, definitely community A will gather, they will have a meeting about this particular rumor. And as a result of that, that is already reinforcement of social cohesion, and cultural identities are being reinforced and social cohesion created. So this is another factor that makes rumors work in modern society. Yeah, so sometimes there's a lot of fear, there's uncertainty, and there's doubt. So when rumors come into circulation, these rumors help people to deal with anxiety. The rumors help people deal with fear by providing explanation for an unknown in cases where we have an information gap and people do not know what is accurate or what is false about a piece of information that is in circulation. Yeah, so then, any questions? I seem to have talked a lot. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions? Okay, there's no question. Now you ask yourself, how do you deal with rumors? For you to deal with rumors, first, you need to listen to the rumors. After listening to the rumors, you need to verify these rumors. After verifying the rumors, engage audience about this particular rumor. So these are the three key things that you should do for you to be able to address rumors effectively and for you to be able to address the impact of rumors in society. One of the things is you need to listen and capture. What you can do as an organization or as an individual is you need to establish a system for listening to rumors. The good thing is all of you have been introduced to social media listening and digital news gathering tools. So you need to deploy those tools, and you need to, if you're an organization, you can work with volunteers, you can use social media listening, you can use traditional media, you can use a feedback system through forms, you can do regular monitoring, and you can use radios to be able to listen and capture rumors in society. And then as you do this listening, you need to be aware that you should be able to listen in the local language. You need to have knowledge of the local language that is being used in a particular community. You need to have open and unstructured conversations. You need to listen to a diverse group of people. You should not only just ask about rumors. Like when you have this conversation with people, don't just go and ask, hey, what rumors have you heard? You need to use a diplomatic approach to be able to get the sort of information that you want. This is very, very important. Don't just go and ask about the rumors. Trust is critical. So this means that you need to first build trust with the audience. Of course, I cannot share information with you when I don't really trust you, because who knows what you're going to use the information for. Yeah. So for you to be able to work effectively in that aspect, you need to make sure that you build trust with your audience or with the beneficiaries of your activities. Then after that, you are able to get honest feedback. Another thing is training might be needed. So this means that you might need to engage your volunteers on, or your project staff on, what exactly you are dealing with. I know people who work for organizations, and if I ask them, what does your organization deal in, they cannot explain. You see, they don't even know the structure of their organization, but they work for a specific organization. If I ask them what are the thematic areas of your organization, they cannot explain that. You see that? So this means that the organizations have not done their due diligence to train their staff or their volunteers on what exactly they do. You see that? So even like we were in board the other day, and during the time for COVID-19 campaigns, where they share, where they sort of send people to go and do COVID-19 awareness, but then they did not train these healthcare workers properly on COVID-19. So when these people went to the community, and then the community asked them questions about COVID-19, and these people could not provide answers, satisfactory answers to the community. So the community had to send them back, that go and have answers, and then you can come back to us. You see that? So it is very important that always project staff are trained on the work that you do, or even the project that you are dealing in. So this is very, very important for organizations. And then you as an individual, you should also have a profile. You should be able to talk about yourself to somebody who is new, or you should even have your profile written, so that it's, in case anyone wants to know you, just send them your profile. These days, you can build a portfolio site using free sites online, and that should be able to answer questions that people may have about you or your organization. So another thing is, you should use a rumor log. So the rumor log is sort of your database that you can use as a reference point in case you want to understand what people are saying about certain things, or even what people are saying about your organization. So the rumor log can have something like the date, like when the rumor was first heard, the location where the rumor was heard, the rumor itself, the details of the rumor, the channel, how the rumor is being shared, the risk rate of the rumor, whether it is low, medium, or high, the verification status, whether you have been able to verify whether the rumor is true or untrue. And then you look at the community engagement and accountability activities. What is your plan as an organization or as an individual to address the rumor? And then monitoring. As you monitor, do you see that the rumor has stopped, or the rumor continued to circulate in communities? So this one can be done in a table form, or you can do it in form of a Google or a Microsoft form, or whichever form builder you see appropriate for yourself. So you need to, so for you to decide on when to address a particular rumor, what you could do is make sure that you see the risk rate, like what is the likelihood, the consequences that will happen if the rumor is not addressed. And then you also look at the number of times the rumor has been heard, and then the speed of the rumor. So you look at the likelihood, the probable A, possible B, improbable C, the minor, moderate, and major. So you look at these consequences, and then you are able to decide on when you should react to a particular rumor. So let's look at examples from Madagascar, like a rumor that causes harm, where people say that eating garlic can help prevent plague. Maybe if eating garlic is not good for health, like eating garlic that is not cooked, and you just eat it, it might be harmful to your health. We have rumors that it stop people from accessing services. For instance, somebody says, if you go to a treatment center, you will die. Definitely, even if you are sick. Of course, if you get badly ill, you die. But then now, someone tells you if you don't go to a treatment center, otherwise you die. Some people will choose not to go to a treatment center, even if they are sick. You see that? So this is sort of a rumor that stops people from accessing services. And then we have rumor that causes conflict or stigmatization. For instance, somebody says, as soon as you touch a person with a confirmed case of plague, you are immediately infected. Already, people will be stigmatized. Or else when you just go to a public place and you just touch anyone anyhow, they will say, my friend, do you want to give me your sickness or what? You see, already conflicts will begin to what? To come out. And then we have rumors that lead to risky behavior. For instance, somebody says plague is incurable. Like you've heard the stories where somebody is HIV positive at that time, where HIV is serious. And then, like, if the person is male or female, the person decides to have sex with random people because they say that they want to give the sickness to as many people as they can, so that they die many instead of him or her dying alone. You see, so this is a risky behavior that is as a result of a rumor. And then we have rumors that puts certain groups at risk. For instance, people will say the middle class are more at risk because poor people have a strong immunity. So as a result of that, poor people may start behaving anyhow, and they may expose themselves to sicknesses in case of health rumors. And then we have rumors that puts response teams at risk. For instance, people could say, people are angry with those who say that the plague exists because the plague is just a rumor. You see that? So this means that if anyone says plague exists, people will be mad at them. And then we have rumors that have impact on the organization. For instance, people will say that COVID-19 is just a disease that is meant to get funding. Like organizations just want to get funding for COVID-19 response. And this is already a terrible rumor that can affect the way communities perceive certain things, and also may damage the reputation of particular organizations. So let me try to mute this person. Hey, Adao, can you mute yourself? And then we have, So they said that, so all these steps involve the listening. You need to first establish a listening system. Then you need to use a rumor log where you have a database for the rumors. You need to decide when you should react to a particular rumor with reference to your database. And then you need to look at these examples that can help you do that. And then the second step now is to be able to verify the rumors. So when you are verifying the rumors, you need to know whether the rumor is true or false. And for you to do that, you need to check with experts and you get the facts right. So this means that if it is a rumor about health, you contact a health expert, or you even contact the subject that is being mentioned in the rumor itself. So this can help you sort of verify whether the rumor is false or the rumor is true. And then you need to speak to the source or community for more information. Speak to the source of the rumor in case you don't get the right context of a particular rumor. And then as you verify, you need to triangulate with 3 independent sources. Don't rely on one source. Make sure you reach to 3 independent sources and see whether they give you kind of similar information. You need to understand why you think the rumor might have happened, because when you understand why the rumor might have happened, it can help you address and prevent more rumors from occurring. And then also you should be very, very careful not to spread rumors or false rumors in the process of trying to verify the rumor. So this is very, very important. And these are the steps to help you verify rumors adequately. Now, the last step is engaging and responding. Please and please, don't just ignore or deny a rumor. What you should do is you need to replace the rumor with factual information, and you support your audiences to make informed choices. So for instance, if you have an information circulating and then you tell somebody, this is false. Why do you say it is false? You support your false with substantive information so that this person who is getting your feedback is able to make an informed decision in case the rumor is something that is serious. And then also, as you engage and you respond, you need to use trusted communication channels. Very, very important. Don't use informal channels to be able to communicate or to respond to rumors. Use the right language. Make sure that you use a language that is easily understood and that is formal language. Don't use informal and vulgar languages to be able to address rumors, because you can also hurt the feelings of other people. Also, as you engage, you need to be aware that you should respect local customs and culture of people. And also you should engage in conversation and check that you are being understood. So that that is why sometimes when we present, we ask questions that, hey guys, what's up? Do you have any questions? Because we want to check that we are being understood. Because when you don't do that, and then people don't kind of get your point clearly. This is very important. The aspect of training, you ensure that all your staff and volunteers are armed with the right information about your organization, right information about your project activities, right information about your partners, so that they do not mislead people outside there about your organization, or so that they do not even say that, hey, I don't know what this organization does, yet they're an organization staff. Yeah, so some examples of rumor tracking response: leaders were sent to see polio vaccines being made in South Africa, engaging religious leaders for polio and Ebola, radio programs on cholera in Sierra Leone, health experts counter rumors, video testimonials by organizations to counter Ebola stigma, and IOM to address traffickers, SMS and community networks to counter inter-ethnic violence in Kenya. You see, so these are some examples of rumor tracking and response in different countries of South Africa, India, and Indonesia, in Sierra Leone, in Kenya. So, for example, if you're addressing a rumor, like this is how you write a fact check, because all of you have a fact-checking assignment that you are supposed to work on. So one, you need to look at the rumor itself, and then you need to put the fact. The fact should be beyond true or false, and it unwraps the concern and provide actionable information. And you could put a contact and reliable follow-up, something of that kind. So this is how you sort of counter rumor, using a rumor bulletin or a fact check article. Yeah, so in conclusion, we could say that do not ignore rumors, because rumors can paralyze programming of an organization. Rumors can put people at risk, the community themselves and your project staff or your organization staff. Instead, you should see rumors as an early warning system, and you need to harness these rumors for good, and you use these rumors to improve your work as an organization. You need to address the critical rumors to protect communities, staff, and volunteers. And you need to discuss rumors in meetings with the staff, partners, and communities. Yeah, so guys, this is supposed to be an exercise, but we're not going to do it. Yeah, except you have questions. Any questions for me? Any questions? Oh, you had a lot to take in to digest today. Are you guys there, or I am talking to myself?
Here. Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask.
I wanted to take you back to the rumor logging. You said we would use Google, or we would use the one that you gave us there.
This one?
Yes, it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
So now, this is just a guide, or it helps track certain rumors. How do we go about this?
This is a guide. This is a guide in case you want to have a small database to keep your rumors. So this is just like a table form where you could put in the first column. First column could have date. The second column could have location. The third column could have rumor itself. The fourth column should have the channel. The fifth column, the risk rate. The sixth column, the verification status. The seventh column, community engagement and accountability activities. and the last column about the monitoring mechanism. So this is just a guide in case you want to have build a database of putting together rumors.
Okay. Well noted.
Yeah, great. Any other questions? Okay, great. So that brings us to the end of our first presentation on understanding the impact of rumors. I believe that now you have a broader idea of what rumors are and the different factors that influence the spread of rumors in modern society. And I hope that also the presentation has been very helpful to you, and it goes straight beyond this. Yeah. So let us move on for a break. Let me give you like a 5 minutes break, and we come back at 3. Right now it's 2:55. Let's get back at 3 exactly. So what you do is get yourself a cup of water, or you can just, if you are sitting, stretch a bit. See you at 3. Welcome back. I hope you guys all had a nice break. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Amule, are you not seeing the screen? You had earlier said you were not seeing.
Yes, I am seeing. I left and I rejoined.
Okay, great. So this is our second segment of the training presentation, and we're going to look at social behavior change. And you know, with the issue of misinformation and fact checking and stuff like that, these are all sort of new concepts, and these are like fact checking is a new area of journalism which is just gaining momentum. So it's kind of not easy for people to align with the beliefs of fact checking, with the principles of fact checking, and even to better understand the concepts of the information disorder, as well as stuff like fake news and stuff like that. So this means that now because we are working towards bringing change, we should then understand the concept of social behavior change. So what is social behavior change, and how does it work, and how is it related to what we are looking at? I have already explained that, and I have load shedding in my place, and my power is like 34% remaining, so we might not finish this session fully. This is just so you know ahead of time. So let me ask you, what is social behavior change? What is social behavior change according to you? Yes? No one wants to talk? Yes, Alex.
Social behavior change are sudden changes in the behavior caused by stress or trauma.
Okay, great. Great. Another person? Okay, let's just move on. And yeah, let's just move on. So for you to understand social behavior change, you need to have the social behavior change mindset, which is SBC mindset. Now, first, what you should do is you need to start with the mind of a beginner. First, you need to unlearn what we already know for us to address new problems with new eyes. You see that? So this means that we're talking about understanding our assumptions and being open to new approaches. For instance, this is a lady. This is a sister of a lady called Jane, and she's called Kaylan, and her nephew brought this nephew baby was seeing bubbles for the first time, and he's amazed at seeing the bubbles. So what happens here is we all want to be like this little boy, like being able to see things as if we were seeing them for the first time with our jaws dropped. So for us to be able to apply the social behavior change mindset, we are sort of solution agnostic at the outset. Like we have law of instrument by Moore's law. So this law says that when you have a hammer, everything begins to look like a nail. So this means that you can keep yourself from seeing new opportunities and seeing what? Solutions also. Also, in the social behavior mindset, after thinking like a baby, seeing things for the first time, you need to also think like a traveler. For instance, you can approach the world like a designer. Often, all it takes to unlock the potential as a dynamic problem solver, you need to have creative confidence. Yeah, that is one thing. And then you need to also be able to think like a traveler. For instance, if you're a visitor in a foreign land, you are trying turning fresh eyes on your surroundings. No matter how familiar or unfamiliar the surrounding is, you don't wait around for a spark to magically appear. You expose yourself to new ideas and experiences in the new place that you have traveled to. You see that? So this is one aspect that is very important for you to have the social behavior change mindset. Another thing is you need to be able to honor people's stories. People are experts in their own experience. So this is something you need to know. Like, people are experts in their own experience. You are an expert in your own experience. So this means that we should be able to honor people's trust and courage to share their true stories. So the importance of storytelling and empathy in this process, and when you are able to hear things from people in their own words and in their own context, and then you also want to understand things from their perspective in order to co-design better solutions where they are part of the solution to the problem. Another thing you need to be able to do is you need to be able to tolerate ambiguity. We should avoid rushing into solutions, yeah? Because it is about spending time asking questions and resisting the urge to move to solutions. So we should we should tolerate some of the vagueness around certain solutions to problems that we are trying to address. We shouldn't rush that, hey, this is the perfect solution. We should take our time to ask questions, and then we should resist the urge to be able to move to the so-called solutions. So when we embrace ambiguity, we allow ourselves to give permission to be fantastically created. This is because social behavior change embraces an approach that is very unique to problem solving, an approach that can occasionally feel more like madness, you see, but you rarely get to new and innovative solutions if you always know precisely where you're going. You see that? So when you know where you're going, you see like this is a dumpy road, like you see at the beginning. You have to move around, and before you reach the solution, you see that. But if you know where exactly you're going, and then you're not being innovative enough, yeah. And also at the moment when we are starting from the place of not knowing the answer to any problem, and of course that is okay. It's okay to start from a place where you don't even know the answer to a particular problem, and then we may not also have a complete set of data, but we know a lot, yeah. And we know a lot more than we knew maybe last year. We have had stories this year, we have had experiences, we have observed, and we have data. So what more do we need? But of course, always it's important that we are able to be ready to start, to be ready to jump in and also start. And when we have that state of ambiguity, we may not be particularly comfortable, but it allows us to open up creatively and to pursue lots of different ideas, and also to arrive at unexpected solutions. And one of the qualities that sets this process apart is the belief that there will always be more ideas, and we do not cling to ideas any longer than we have to, because we know that we will have more ideas. You see that? So what we want to do here is we want to discard bad ideas. We want to hold on to pieces of so ones, and also eventually arrive at good ideas. So if we knew the answer when we started, what could we possibly learn, and why should we go through all this process at all? So that is why it's very important for us to tolerate ambiguity and for us to embrace it, and it can give us a broad idea, and it can help us to be creative and innovative enough to be able to create solutions to community problems. So you need to also be able to learn from failure. Like, this is a quote from Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan said he has missed more than 90,000 shots in his career of basketball. He's a basketballer, and he has lost almost 300 games. 26 times he was trusted to take the winning game shot, but he missed. And he also failed over and over again in life, and that is why he believes he succeeds. You see that? So as part of this, we want to learn from failure, yeah? And we don't want to think of it as a failure, but we want to think of failure as a designing experiment through which we're going to learn, yeah? So this means that failure is an incredibly powerful tool for learning, and designing experiments, prototypes, and interactions. Testing these things is at the heart of design thinking. So it's an understanding that not only all of them are going to work, but as we seek to solve big problems, we are bound to fail, yeah? And if we adopt the right mindset, we will inevitably learn from something from that failure that we always encounter. And the point is to always put something out in the world and then use it to keep learning, keep asking, and keep testing. When we get it right, it is because we got it wrong in the first place. Another thing is there's no failure. There's always feedback. You fail early, you fail often, and you fail small. When you fail early to succeed sooner, it's a common refrain. And part of its power is the permission that it gives to get something wrong. But by refusing to take risks, some problem solvers actually close themselves off from a real chance to be innovative enough. Yeah? When you refuse to take risk, you as somebody who is trying to solve a community problem, you already close yourself from a chance of being innovative. And one of the biggest impediments to adopting design thinking is simply the fear of failure. Yeah. So the notion that there's nothing wrong with the experimentation or failure, as long as they can happen early and act as a source of learning, can be difficult to accept. Yeah. But for us to have a very vibrant design thinking culture, we always encourage prototyping, cheap and dirty, as part of the creative process and not as a way of validating finished ideas. So always fail early, fail often, and fail small. Another thing is no judgment, okay? No judgment. No judgment. So you never know where a good idea will come from. So the key to make everyone able to say the idea is everyone should be able to say the idea he or she has in mind and allow others to develop these ideas. So this is very important. We shouldn't be rushing quickly to judge other people. Yeah? We should be able to go slow, and we shouldn't judge other people because of one reason or the other. You should also be able to think visually. You should put ideas on paper. Yeah, that is why my friends and I, when we go to office, we write our day's activities on sticky notes, or a sketch of idea that we want, and then we put it on our desk so that it can kind of tell us that, hey, today you have this you are supposed to do. Please do not forget. You see that? So we put ideas on paper, no matter how roughly this idea is, it brings the idea to life, yeah? And it makes an idea real, giving people something tangible to react to. You see that? So, and it helps us a lot in terms of being focused when we are in the office and be able to stick to our deliverables for the day and get the job done. You see that? So this is very important. So now we're going to have, let's say, for example, you have a complex challenge. So the kind of challenge that involves a lot of people with varying interests, with varying influences and ideas on how things should operate, yeah? And this problem cannot be addressed simply by providing access to services or by building awareness around treatment methods. this problem requires something much greater. So let's say that this is actually a big challenge, a big one. And yeah, so behavior is very complex, and we need to look at behavior from different perspectives so that we have a deep understanding of what is going on. Because social behavioral challenges are a barrier between current and future state. And of course, this social behavior change can help be the bridge between current and future state. And also can help the way we understand behavior, which will shape how we develop solutions to community problems. So social behavior change here is the intentional approach to understanding behaviors and its drivers, and also developing appropriate solutions to community problems. Yeah, so that is the definition of social behavior change. Yeah, is the intentional process that seeks to understand, facilitate change in behaviors, social norms, and the context that drive these behaviors. So this way, we could see that social behavior change is different from other approaches because it intentionally seeks to unpack this complexity and design reality. Because social change is not just about the accumulation of changes at the individual level, but it demands significant transformations of social structures, that is to say norms, genders, roles, and also institutions like health systems, funding, and also policies that underpin and influence individual decisions. So this means that such changes make certain health practices more socially acceptable, also equip mothers and families with social resources and networks, and bring communities together around common problems and from various stakeholders to support actions to social and structural change. So our level of understanding of human behavior is more comprehensive and taking different models and lenses. So we will talk about more here. For instance, what was the last time you tried to change your behavior? How many of you met New Year resolutions when the year started? And how is the resolution going? Let me hear from you guys. How many of you made New Year resolutions for 2022 when they were in December 2021? By the way, you should also start working on your resolutions for 2023. So what was the last time you tried to change your behavior? For instance, me, at the end of 2021, I decided for instance, that I decided to change the type of content that I share on social media. Like some of you whom we might have connected on social media for a long time, the type of content I share on social media this year is absolutely different from what I shared last year. So that was a resolution that I had. Some of you might have had different resolutions. So let me hear from you. You can just unmute because I'm not seeing you guys. So you just reflect whether you have ever tried to change your own behavior. Yeah. And or maybe what is an example from your life when you try to change your own or someone else's behavior? What worked and what did not work? Looks like guys are very shy today. Okay. Okay. You guys want to do the listening only now? Okay, let us continue. So then you ask yourself, why social behavior change? You see? So we have known for a while now that knowledge and access is not enough. And there are many reasons why people don't practice the behaviors that are being promoted by organizations. And therefore, they need a systematic approach to address different barriers to the adoption and practice of healthy behaviors. For instance, let us look at this building. You see that there's a flyover. There's a flyover on top of this road, yeah? But there's a beautiful bridge. There's a beautiful bridge. That is a beautiful flyover, the road. But instead, people are crossing the road in traffic, risking their lives without using the flyover. You see that? And someone decided to build, for instance, someone decided to build this flyover to help people, but the person did not take into account how people would really cross this street, whether it is really easy solving the challenge. So for us, for you to solve this problem with the mindset of social behavior change, like you kind of provide a different perspective from other approaches to change behavior. For instance, in this case, an engineer or an architect may have conceived the flyover bridge. They then decided that they would build infrastructure to solve the dangerous problem of people crossing the street, yeah? But a social behavior change approach would give us a different perspective to solve here. First, we must start understanding why, what is happening, and asking why. Because people might not use the flyover because they didn't perceive any danger in crossing the street, yeah? And they might also think that it is easier and safer to cross the road than to go through the flyover. And this perspective would yield different solutions beyond just the flyover. For instance, does anyone have ideas that could be done in this situation? So for instance, if we know that people are in a rush and it will take more time for them to use the flyover, so what could happen is you could build a crossroad to give them their right of way, or maybe we could build barriers that could allow, they don't have the option to rush and to risk what? People's wildlife. You could put barriers along the road so that drivers do not what? Overspeed. Yeah, like you see, this is how programs and services are designed in the case of the flyover. And then this is the reality of human behavior. People will choose to what? To cross the street instead of using the flyover that was intended to solve their community problem. Another thing is we have this road here. You see this road, it was designed that people are supposed to come from here like this and then they go here. But instead, the user experience is different. In the user experience, people instead go to what? People instead use a shortcut. You see, they created their own pavement and they do not work with the design that was intended. You see, so this is how programs and services are designed, and this is the reality of human behavior. Like human behavior are different. They act very contrary to how programs are designed. Again, another example. You see here, even information is not enough. Like here we have a signpost that says, please use the sidewalk. You see that? But instead, this information is not enough. People still continue to use this one in the middle instead of using the sidewalk that is here. You see? And yeah, so I asked you this question. What do you see in this picture? What do you see in this picture? You can put in the chat box.
I can see a frog.
You can see a frog. Perfect. Who else?
Also, I'm seeing frog.
You're seeing a frog. Great. What else is?
Frog.
Someone is saying a horse. Someone is saying a horse.
I'm seeing a frog and a donkey.
You're seeing a frog and a donkey. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. So now let us look at this. Now, when you look at this from a different perspective, of course, you will see a what? A frog. Yeah. But if we turn around, what would you see? You would see a donkey now. See that? You see that? So this is the mindset of social behavior. It gives us another way to see the world and changes our perspective to come up with solutions to address the complex reality of the problems that we have to what? We have to face. We have to face. You see? Yeah. So how do we do social behavior change? Lots of ways. And first, look at this assignment here. We're asking whether this is your homework. You just go and do it as homework. My battery is going down and it should be shutting down in the next few minutes. If you have these dots, I don't know whether you are, I want to know whether you guys are able to connect all the dots using 4 lines or less without lifting your pen from the paper. Just like you start from a specific point and just connect all these dots without lifting your pen up. So just draw this and then you try it out and then we see how it works. So you could see that for you to
Excuse
connect,
me, we are not seeing the dots.
You're not seeing are you seeing now?
No, still.
Why? You're not
Uncle,
seeing
I'm
this
seeing
dot?
the dots. I'm seeing
Yeah,
them.
I'm now seeing the dots. Thank you.
You are now seeing, yeah, okay. So these are the dots. Now you should be able to connect them using 4 lines or less without lifting your pen. Only 4 lines. Connect this, all the dots using 4 lines. Is it easy from the look of things without trying it? Like when you see it, is it something easy for you guys?
Not easy, but we will try.
Okay, so you could see that it's almost impossible for you to connect these dots. Like you see line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and then you could leave this. You could do this line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and then you will leave this, you will not connect this, you see. So you connect all this is going to be very, very hard. But for you to do this now, you need to think outside the box. You need to at least go beyond even the boundaries of this line. You come up to here, then you come here, then you come here, and then you come here. Like this, we have line 1, line 2, line 3, and line 4. Now all the dots have been what? Have been touched. You see. So if you don't think outside the line, outside the box, you will never connect these lines. You'll never connect all these dots with 4 lines. So this is another thing that you should always do. Think outside the box. Now, solutions always come from our representation of problems. Yeah. The lines have to be made within the matrix. This is a hard problem, yeah? But the easier problem for you to look at issues is you need to say that the whole page is your canvas, yeah? This is an easier way to solve the problem. So some people want to constrain themselves into certain issues into certain things in order to provide solution, but always think outside the box, and that way you will be able to find easier solutions to problems. So that is now innovation. You see, you reconceptualize the challenge of connection. You see, that is now you being innovative. Like you have in cases where you are in a long queue and the line does not seem to go. What you can do is, if the line is 1, you could go and you create a second line, and that is already being creative instead of you piling up in the same queue. Yeah. Now, what do you guys see in this? What do you guys see? What do you guys see here?
A tire.
A tire, yeah.
You see a tire. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Good.
can see a tire.
Great. Uh-huh.
You can see
Who
a
else?
tire and a shade of tire.
You're seeing
Shadow.
a tire and the shadow. Uh-huh. Great. Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing tire and inside there is water.
Great. Yeah. So what are
A
some of the
tire
different
and
ways?
a bottle.
Okay. So I am going to ask you another question. What are some of the different ways this picture might be viewed? You see? What are some of the different ways? So in this tire, somebody who works as a vector control worker or somebody who is an environmental health expert, they might see this tire because you will see that there's some water inside the tire. Have you seen that? There's some water inside the tire. So somebody who is an environmental health worker, they will see this tire as a breeding site for mosquito, yeah? And then somebody who is a homeowner, they might see this tire that they need to keep, to reuse, or to sell this tire because it has a lot of value to them, you see? And somebody who does, you know, these shoes called Mutkaliu, yeah? Somebody who does Mutkaliu shoes, they will see this as an opportunity for them to be able to make more of those shoes, right? So these are the different ways out.